Yeah, I'm wearing glasses today, and also I forgot my tie. That's awkward for me. I usually have a tie, but nevertheless, we're going to go through this lesson. This is 3.1, and I'm going to light you up under my. By the way, this is my classroom. This is the first time I haven't done a filming from my house. Okay, that's Sparky behind me. I'm a big AHE fan, so in a couple of weeks when you're in my room, you'll be able to see it all. So let me take a look at our screen, and I'm going to put up my document camera so you can see this. You won't see me, but you can see my document camera. And here is our last chapter, okay, which is 3.1. And we're going to talk about some vocabulary here, okay? We're going to talk about functions, and we have relations, okay? A relation is pairs of inputs with outputs, okay? You pair P-A-I-R inputs with outputs. Okay, that's all it is. Function, okay, is a relationship. Okay, and I'm just going to say relation because that's really something that I have from before. That pairs each input with exactly one output. Okay, I'll talk more about that in a second. A relation that pairs each input with exactly one output. Okay, very good. Your domain is all possible input values. That is typically your x values. Okay, and your range is all possible output values. Okay. All right, let me give you a second to copy that down. Okay. And all of these relate to what we call input independent and dependent variables. Sometimes we abbreviate IV and DV. That's certainly okay. And independent variable is a variable that represents your inputs. Okay. And your DV is a variable that represents outputs. Okay, and again, this is usually X and this is usually Y. If you find that this is going too fast, it is certainly okay to hit pause and catch up. Okay, no big deal. Go at your pace, but make sure you get everything done. Okay, here's the bottom line. It means that for every X, you have exactly one Y, and that is it. Okay, you cannot have an X that goes to two different Ys. That is not possible. So a huge no for that. Okay, it just means that every one X has one Y. Okay, you're allowed to have different X's go to the same Y. This is okay. Okay, but every one X has to have a different Y. Sorry, not different Y. Every X has to have its own unique Y. Okay. All right, so here's what I got. I got one X here, that's a -2. Okay, and that matches with the 2. I'm going to look at the next X, which is -1. The next one is 0, and then a 1 and a 2. Okay. I have to decide if this is a function. Okay, the fact that all of these X's are different, okay, means that you have a function. Yes, it is a function. Okay, and some people will just say, hey, as long as they just look at the X's and if they're all different, am I okay? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so if I look at part B, look at all the X's. 4, 8, 6, 4, 5. Okay, are all the X's different? No, 4 repeats. Okay, so since 4 repeats as an X, or as an X value, okay, it is not a function. Okay. If you look at the third one, you got -5, 0, 5. Oh, 5 again, darn it. Okay, 5 repeats as an X. Okay, not a function. Okay. All right, again, look at all the x's. -4, -1, 2, 5. All the x's are different, so it is a function. Okay. Most people find these pretty easy. Are y's allowed to repeat? Are y's allowed to repeat? And the answer is yes. Your y values can repeat. That's still a function. It's only about the x's. Okay. So if I look at these x's, okay, are they all different? Yes, they are. They're all different. Okay, so you're saying yes, it is a function. Okay. Same thing here. Are all the x's different? No, not a function. Because what repeats? The 0 repeats. Okay, again, notice I'm not worrying about the y's. I'm not worrying about the y's. I'm not worrying about the little y's. It's only the x's. You know, if you look at this, this says, well, when x is 1, y is 4. So I can look at it like this. When x is 3, y is 15. And when x is 11, y is 15. Okay. Are all the x's different? Yes. So it is a function. Okay. And again, it's because all the x's are different. If I were to do this one, I got a 1/2 and -2, a 1/2 and 0, and a 1/2 and a 4. And again, will I ask all the x's different? No. Okay. All the x's aren't different. It's not a function. Okay, because x equals 1/2 repeats. Okay. All right. Hopefully we are doing good. All right. Next one's called vertical line test. Are we doing that? Actually, I just want the domain and the range. Okay. So here's what you do. You're going to write down all the points. Okay. So in this case, let's start over here. This is maybe the easiest one. You have to go over 3 and up 4. Okay. This one here is 1, 2. This is -1, 0. We got to be careful with these. And this is -3, -2. Okay. And if you can do that, the rest is easy. Okay. The domain, I'm going to use these little fancy brackets. Okay. And I'm not going to write this now. Sorry. Ignore that. Your domain are just all your x's. Okay. So I'm going to write these x's, 3, 1, -1, -3, in order from the lowest to the highest. Okay. And if domain are all your x's, what do you think is the range? You're right. Your range is the y's. Okay. So again, put them in order from lowest to highest. So -2 is the smallest number, then 0, then 2, then 4. All right, same thing here. Let's look at the points. I got one here. It's hard to see. It's 0, 0. And then I have 1, 2. And then I have 2, 4. And then I have -1, 2. And I have -2, -4. Okay. Your domain, again, are all the x's. Okay. So x's are 0, 1, 2, -1, -2. You're going to have to write them all, and again, in order. Okay. Your range are the ones that repeat, or the ones that are in your y's. Okay, so I've got 0, I've got 2, I've got 4, I've got 2. 2 already shows, so I don't have to write it twice. Okay, you only write these once, and if they repeat, don't worry about it. Okay, now here you don't have points, you have a shape. And so what I like to do is draw a rectangle around it. like this. Okay? You don't have to. This is just what I do. And I ask myself, going, hey, left or right? Okay, how far left do we go? Well, it goes to -2. Okay, so it stretches back all the way this way to -2. Is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to. And then how far do I go to the right? Looks like 3. Okay, so my left-handmost boundary is -2, stops right here. Right-handmost boundary is 3. Okay, and that's how I write my x's. For the range, it's the same thing, but you're dealing with y's. So how low do we go? Well, the curve stops here, and that looks like at -1. Okay, and then how high does it go? Well, it goes as high as 2. Okay. Same thing here. You can draw a little box if you want. Just me. I like to do that. How low does this go? Oh, sorry, let's go right and left. Okay, it looks like it goes as far left as 1 and far right as 5. So from 1 to 5. Don't do it on a marker. It gets kind of messy. Range, how low does this go? Well, it goes as low as 0. Make sure you write this with respect to y. And how high does it go? It goes as high as 4. All right, so let me leave that up there so you can write it down, see if you have any questions. All right, and we'll move on to side 2, which looks like this. Okay, and then we have something called the vertical line test. Okay, I was off a little bit. Vertical lines. Vertical means just going left, up and down. So vertical lines means you just draw little lines through your picture. And if it touches each point in only one spot, then you say it's a function. Okay. If you ever have a figure like this and you draw a line and it touches in more than one spot, 2 spots, then you say not a function. So these are kind of cool. I think they're pretty easy. All I'm going to do is grab my pen and just see if I can draw vertical lines and have it touch your function in more than one spot. And is there any way that I can do that? I can't. Each one only touches the line in one location. Okay, so yes, this is a function. Okay. The next one, if you draw vertical lines, I can't draw a single line and have it pass through 2 points. Okay, it doesn't work. And so yes, this is a function too. Okay. Let's go to this last one. If I pass through here one time, you can see I touched in 2 spots. So that's not a function. Okay. Similarly, let's go to this one now. If I touch it here, oh, that's 1 spot here, 1 spot here. Every time you draw a vertical line, it only touches in 1 spot. So this is also a function. Okay. Same thing, vertical lines. They only touch in 1 spot each. Okay, so yeah, that has to be a function. And the last one deals with points. And you can see that sometimes you only touch a single point when you draw your vertical line. But in other times, you'll actually touch 2. And if that's the case, it is not a function. All right. All right, take a moment, pause this if you need to, and we'll see where we're at. Okay, so now we have some word problems. Okay, it says the function y is equal to -3x plus 12 represents the amount of fluid in juice remaining in a bottle after you take x gulps. Okay, find the independent and dependent variables. Okay, I like these because I think these are easy. Remember, independent is just what x is, and dependent is what y is. Okay, and so they tell you that you have x gulps. Okay, so what is your independent variable? I'm just going to abbreviate that with IV. Okay, is gulps, number of gulps. Okay, and your y is the output, which is, and they tell it to you, amount of juice remaining. Okay, and that's your dependent variable. Okay, so your x is independent, your y is dependent. Okay, since the domain is 1, 2, 3, or 4, you're taking 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 0 gulps. Okay, what is the range? Well, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take these numbers and put them into this equation. So your y is equal to -3 times, and just plug the first one in, 0 plus 12. And if you work that out, you get 12. And if you plug in the next one, -3 times 1 plus 12, that gives you 9. And you can use a calculator if you need to. Y is equal to -3 times 2 plus 12, and that gives you 6. Next one is -3 times 3 plus 12, and that leaves you with 3, if you do all that math. And the last one, -3 times 4 plus 12. Okay, and again, you can do all that math and you get 0. So in the end, they want to know, what is the range? Well, the range is all of these answers. Okay, so that is 0, 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay. All right. The last couple are pretty much the same. Okay. I'll do one of these in class, and so I'll do this one. Actually, I'll do both of these in class. Okay, so we'll do these together in class, and so you'll have these written down. This is the one that you'll have on video. Okay. All right, very good. I hope that helps. Hope that made sense. If you have further questions, you let me know. This assignment is going to be due on Friday, 3.1 on Clever. Okay. All right. I hope you're having a good day, and we will move on to 3.2, which will be due the next day, which will be on Monday for us. So, all right, let me stop this if I can.